Awaken to hair growth. Awaken to hair growth because there is possibility to get your hair back. Awaken to hair growth because we're not told that we're able to conquer and overcome alopecia. Awaken to hair growth because I want to be a positive light and beacon for you because I've healed my alopecia and now I help others do the same with different types of alopecia, men, women, children of all ages, of all races and ethnicities. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Alopecia Angel podcast, Awaken to Hair Growth. I am your host, Johanna Dolman. Today, we're going to be talking about the energy of hair growth, the energy of hair loss, the energy that it might take you to do this. I was once told, not once, but actually various times in my life and throughout my life, is that wherever your energy flows is where your results and outcomes grow. So if you are thinking about, let's say, buying a car and you start thinking about the white Jeep, and then all of a sudden, as you're moving around town, you start seeing more and more white Jeeps because, consciously you're thinking about, I want to buy a car, it's a white Jeep and da, 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 da. So now everywhere you go, whether it's the supermarket or to school or to work, you are seeing white Jeeps everywhere across your path. So where your energy, where your thoughts, where your emotions are going, that's where your energy towards healing or hair loss is actually going as well. So if you're always thinking and focusing on the hair loss, then you will continue to see the hair loss, if that makes sense. If you are in an action or in a state of fear and uncertainty, you will continue to have the fear and uncertainty, and it will just dynamically become stronger and get bigger, and you will continue to see that situation reveal itself. Now, how do we switch our energies to energy of growing, right? Energy of switching gears, energy of looking for hair growth. Now, granted, I already told you it's not going to be through the gimmicks. I already told you it has to be through a customized approach. I already told you so many things, right? You've already done my free training at this point, I'm sure. At the same time, there are other ways that we need to put our intention towards growing our hair. Let me give you a different example. So if I wanted to create a garden, a vegetable garden in my garden, I would need to get the right soil. I would need to condition it, get compost. I would need to buy the seeds or buy the plants that I would like to grow. I would need to research a little bit more of each one to make sure they have plenty of sunshine and plenty of water and plenty of all the nutrients that they need, right? So just like growing my garden, that I'm focused on it, that I'm thinking about it, that I'm planning for it, that I am putting it on my to-do list to go to the nursery, to go to the home garden center, to go to these different places, to ask questions, to buy the things, I'm all in, right? Do you see me? If I have the goal here is to grow my garden, I'm 100% all in. I want to research the zone and the zoning for my plants and the type of climate that I live in. And if it's okay during winter, are these plants going to survive? Like, I'm researching everything and asking questions from those who've been there, done that, and who've been gardening for over 30 years. Right? Or who actually own the nurseries and who own the home garden centers, because they're going to know more than me, who's just starting out. And so when it comes to growing your hair, where is your energy going? The thing is, we really need to hone in. Where is our energy going? Our thoughts, our feelings, our actions? Where is it going to? Are we still thinking we can do XYZ? Are we still thinking that we can do so many other things and also grow our hair? Kind of not. The thing is, it's like whether you are training for the Olympics or for a marathon or learning to speak French or anything else, and it's something you really want, like hair growth, then you need to put in the energy into it. You need to put in the effort into it. I'll tell you my experience actually with Portuguese. So I did the study abroad trip. I had already learned Spanish and I was fluent in Spanish. But in order to learn Portuguese or go study abroad, I was going to Brazil, and I did. I ended up living in Brazil for a year through a study abroad program, and I loved it. I arrived with zero Portuguese in my back pocket. Zero. Nothing. Not even one book. Not even a Lonely Planet book. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I arrived to the study abroad program with zero Portuguese. And this wasn't an experience of doing my upper division courses for university. So these courses were for my degree, and I needed to have them in order to graduate. And they had to be over a B plus. A B plus is a pretty significant grade. And I was just like, yeah, I can do it. I thought this was going to be easy. And it was super challenging, where I found myself after the end of 1 month of intensive training crying because I thought I was going to fail. And which means I needed to spend an extra maybe 6 months or a year doing extra classes at the university in order to be able to graduate. This was very scary for me. So what did I do? I was there with other Americans from other kids in this program, right? And so I did the intensive course, which was 1 month long, but now I was like really paying attention. I was really forcing myself to speak, whether it was on the bus, whether it was in school, whether it was at the restaurant, whether it was with my host family, whether it was with whoever. I was full into Portuguese, and also trying to discern and decipher not just the language, but also the slang, the colloquial version of how people pronounce things, because we were up north in a place called Bahia, in the province of Bahia. And in Bahia, they have a different way of saying things, right? Very different from Rio de Janeiro, very different from Sao Paulo, very different from other areas of Brazil. I love Brazil. We ended up moving to the university in Rio, and I spent the rest of my year there. It all opened up after trying for over a month. Then it just clicked. One day I woke up and it clicked, and the Portuguese clicked out of so much effort, after so much like immersion, right? Into the restaurants, into speaking. And even with my friends who were American and we could speak either Spanish or English or anything else, I was just like, no, I just want to speak Portuguese. That's actually how I was able to not just graduate with my B plus grades and above, but also finish my full term there fluently. But then also I was able to use it for business later on in life. And so the thing is, it's like a lot of this stems from effort and also going all in. You can't be lackadaisy about this. You can't be just like, I'll dip my toe in and see if this works, or I'll do this, or I'll do that, and, be very blasé about it. No, you have to go all in. I don't know if you're feeling the struggle like I felt the struggle with my own hair loss. When I was going through it, it hit hard, and I made it my job. My whole life stopped because of my hair loss. Everything stopped. The only thing that kept going was my relationship to my boyfriend slash fiance, who is now my husband. That was the only thing that kept going. And nothing was on autopilot. I was literally transforming and changing and doing all these crazy kooky things while I was dating him and being with him and growing our relationship. But as that was growing, like inside of me was dying in many ways. Like the inside of me of Johanna was dying because a new Johanna emerged. Does that make sense? The thing is, it's like I had to go all in. I would say for any of you who really want to heal your hair loss, you have to go all in. You can't be distracted with outside factors. And granted, we all have work, we all have responsibilities, kids, etc., school activities. But I would say is that if you really want to heal this, you're going to quiet those other activities as much as possible. Quiet them down. Because once you do, and you have more time, more mental space, more energetic space to focus only on the hair growth, then that's where the rapid changes happen. That's where the magic happens. When you want to buy a house and you're saving up money for the down payment, are you going on luxurious vacations? Are you buying a new car? Are you buying the latest, video game box or the latest and greatest iPhone? No, you are focused on the down payment, and every extra penny, every extra euro, every extra dollar is going towards the down payment. Everything, right? Because you want the house. And so in the same way, we have to look at hair growth. Yes, things will change. Yes, things will be a little maybe uncomfortable for a second or two or for a couple weeks or so. But at the same time, what is the bigger mission here? What is the bigger goal in your life? If it's to go on a retreat, if it's to learn Buddhism, if it's to learn Chinese or anything else, great. But then maybe you don't have as much time for your hair growth. Does that make sense? It's like when you're an Olympian, you are focused on your sport. And if any of you have ever heard or seen or read about these people's lives and how they achieve gold, how they achieve the finish line, it's because they do it on a consistent basis. They're training, they live, breathe, sleep, eat. Olympics, whatever sports it is, from dancing to swimming to triathlons to what have you, they live, breathe, sleep, eat it, all of it. It's part of them. I would say that in my experience is that when you go all in, when you put all your energy, all your chips into one thing, that's where all the energy is going. And that is where you're going to see all the production, all the results come forward. This is why they say we can't multitask, right? Multitasking is actually a very inefficient way of doing things. I know as a mom, and all moms probably do this, we all multitask, right? We're thinking about the dentist appointment, and then we have to go pick up Johnny, and then we need to go to school, and then we need to go pick up the dry cleaners, and then we need to cook dinner, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. I get that. But if we can just focus a little more on the situation, then that's where the energy is going. That's where the results will come first. And so put that into perspective when you think about other activities, when you start thinking about other things in life, when you start thinking about other goals, when you start thinking about vacations, when you start thinking about buying a house, other projects. It's one step at a time, right? Even when you build a house from scratch, we're not doing everything all at the same time. You can't. You have to lay the foundation. Then you build the structure on the outside, and then you do the roof, and then you do potentially like the windows and, the toilets and the showers and, the drywall. The last thing that happens is like the painting, right? The painting of the walls is like last. The cleaning of the house at the end is very, very last. Landscaping can happen maybe midway, maybe 2/3 into the building process, but not everything is happening at the same time because you got to focus. You got to focus on the plumbing. And that's probably different at a different time on a different day than the electrical, right? It's all so different. And so just think back on your day-to-day right now, on your weekly basis. Like, what are you doing now to move the needle towards your hair growth? If you're not doing enough and you continue to see the hair loss, well, then you need to come talk to me. If you want to see hair growth, then you're all in and you want to go all in, come talk to me. We have a free training, but then we also have so many other supportive resources for you that you can find on our homepage on the Alopecia Angel website. Think about that. Think about that when you start realizing, okay, what goals have I had in the past and which ones are completed? Which ones have been checked off? Because that'll tell you whether you're able to complete goals on your own or not. This is a big one. I'm very disciplined. I'm very perseverant. You say no, you try to kick me down, I'm going to get back up 1,000 times just to reach my goal. Maybe it's not even going to be through one way or another way, or even the conventional way, but maybe it's going to be through like a total different opposite door. And that's okay. That's totally okay as long as I get to my goal, right? The thing is, it's like, I know you're suffering with hair loss and you don't have to. A lot of times we are in our own way. We are not allowing ourselves to heal because we're distracted with social media, with the news, with politics, with the environment, with the Olympics, with so many things that are going on that are really outside of our control, right? All of that is outside of our control. But at the same time, our hair loss, hair growth is in our control. And so focus your energies on what you can control, because that's where you're going to see the success. I can guarantee that. I hope you are having a beautiful week and reach out to us. We are here to support you. We are here to get you going on the right path, on the right journey to healing your hair loss and reversing it in less time, less than 8 weeks. 90% of clients see hair growth in less than 8 weeks. I look forward to speaking to you next time. Take care. All the best. Thank you for listening to the Alopecia Angel podcast, a positive light in healing alopecia. You can do this and we can help. Spread the word that reversing alopecia is possible by telling your friends and family.